Hi there, this is going to be first of two live radio show readings. They're 15 minutes long for WZRD Radio. I have to time them, so I'm going to get the timer ready here and be ready and hang in there, everyone. This is WZRD Radio 88.3 FM, The Wizard, where we are freeform. And in this special show, Chicago poet and publisher Janet Kuypers, who is now a resident of Austin, Texas, is here to share poetry from a recently released book, the second in the two-volume set of her poetry written for holidays and events during the calendar year. From the new Scars Publications book, Every Event of the Year, Volume 2, July through December, Janet Kuypers will share select poems with you from August events and holidays in this one-of-a-kind poetry book. Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to be able to share poetry with everyone for the WZRD Chicago poetry world from the new book, Every Event of the Year, Volume 2, July through December. I'm going to pick random assorted poems, not all of them that are in July. I hope you enjoy them. And the amazing thing about them is from one event to the next, styles change and themes change for every different crazy event that's out there. This first one I'd like to share with you is for August 11th, which is for a Robert G. Ingersoll's birthday. So history lesson, if you want to know about him, you can check out Robert Ingersoll. This is a poem about him for his birthday. This is called Opportunity from Freedom. After fighting for freedom in this country, after fighting for freedom against slavery, the one thing I had to truly fight was the battle in my own mind. When I learned to finally think for myself, I was no longer a servant, a serf, or a slave, and that nature guided me in my world, not the ghosts and gods of myths. Once I freed my mind of the fantastic, this was true and real freedom. Servitude or slavery is one thing, but slavery of the mind is another. These myths are shackles and prison bars to your thoughts, forcing you to every fear as fantastic as the fears that only the truly creative mind can even try to create. Now, free your creative mind, because the beauty is that you have the control to release your shackles. When you do, then you will know what it means to truly be free. Take from that, there is so much you can take from this when you know about the man and this country and beliefs. I hope you enjoy that. And as well, on the next page, I believe, on August 13th, is actually a celebration for International Left-Handers Day. August 13th. And for that, I've got a poem for you from this book that is called Following in the Footsteps of Genius. I've been opening refrigerator doors from the wrong side I don't know how many times. I mean, I'm used to using a mouse to the right of my computer with my right hand, and using right-handed scissors with my right hand too. Because us creative types, from Hendrix to Jon Stewart, have learned how to play by the right-handed rules and still be amazingly successful in our own right. But how many U.S. presidents have been left-handed, including everyone from Reagan to Clinton to Barack Obama? But they don't share that because this is the right-handed world, isn't it? Other left-handed people? Let's try Leonardo da Vinci, Mark Twain, Mozart, Marie Curie, even Aristotle to Alexander the Great, even Joan of Arc and Ben Franklin. Nuns would physically punish my left-handed family for writing left-handed. And I can only ask, why punish the creative few for following in the footsteps of genius? I hope that you guys are enjoying this, and in fact, as people can hear from the pages flipping, I am not reading everything. I am skipping events, and I am jumping to one that I'm reading especially for you guys for August 15th, which was written on August 15th for the anniversary of the 1914 date when a servant of American architect Frank Lloyd Wright, while in Wright's Wisconsin home, murdered 7 people and then set fire to his house. I figured I better bring some local history in this for you guys, and I was stunned when I heard this one, and some people knew about it, but this is a poem reflecting that for you guys. It is called Once You Found Fame. On the surface, there seems to be no explanation for what seems to be so extraordinarily violent. You worked all your life. Your fame came with your greatness. And so you thought you just could ditch your old way of life and start anew. And it never occurred to you that you may hurt people while being too busy once you've risen to the top. You only wanted to have a moment of peace in your new love nest, but you may have overlooked those who would later turn their back on you. That would cause a fiery massacre that tears your heart out. Their terrible crime is a tragedy to your soul, and you will do whatever you can to make amends, but all you may try to do becomes caught in flames again, like how fire is the only way to remove the memories of all who have died. And in the back of your mind, all you wonder is if this pain only came after pushing everyone away, once you found fame. And as I said, the amazing thing about this book is sometimes you go from one page to the next, you find different stories, completely different stories, because just opposite that page is a reflection of August 18th with a haiku that was written on August 18th for the date in 1783 of the great meteor which was seen over Great Britain, the British Isles. And at the time, it was an unknown object that split into several pieces. I mean, think about it at the time. People didn't understand what these things were when they'd see a light in the sky. So this haiku reflects that event for you guys. It's called Foretell. Streak across the sky, colored lights flash in heavens. Foretell, rumbling, doom. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. As I said, this is from the book Every Event of the Year, Volume 2, July through December. Volume 1 is also out. It's actually sold out the last time I was in town with Volume 1, which was really fun to be able to share with you guys. I feel bad that I cannot be able to share poetry with you guys right now in these horrific, saddened COVID times. But what I can share with you is a poem for August 19th, because we have to pick random dates, and that is actually National Aviation Day. And there's a haiku and a poem. I'm going to share with you this poem for it, and it's called Just Who May Try to Stop Us. Recent plane crashes have caused many countries to ban the use of one model airplane. We had a flight planned and made sure it wasn't canceled because the flight's scheduled plane. I think back to 9/11, the day in silence in the skies after the grounding of all aircraft, and just how spooky it was to look up at the sky and see no contrails, hear no engine roars above. Because it doesn't matter who may try to stop us, flight is in our blood. We may not have wings, but we always want the impossible. Since we were little, we'd get on that swing. Push me faster, push me harder, let's go higher. I can see across the world from here. So let's go. And because I believe in changing things up for you guys, I thought I would go to the next one on August 21st for you guys. It is actually time for National Poets Day. If I've got a poetry book, I have to give something for my poetry peeps, right? This is for National Poetry Day, which is on August 21st, and it is called Just to Craft. It can be taxing to try to wax poetic. The task is taxing and traumatic, spilling the ills of the downtrodden, relaying the pain of a nation, feeling the grievances of a people. For all self-proclaimed poets know they have no choice but to immerse themselves, to wallow in the feelings of all, just to work, just to craft, just the right words that everyone can relate to, that everyone can feel the emotion from, that can change people as a whole. This is the lifetime task they are challenged with, just to work, to slave. And in this case, slave is no understatement because they slave just to save. They are forced in every moment to feel the full realm of everything that can happen to everyone, so that at the drop of a hat they can wax poetic about the joy and the pain, because they have no choice. They slave just to save, just to make people think, just to make a difference. It's a daunting task, and no serious poet takes this task lightly. Anyone from Shakespeare to Edgar Allan Poe to Charles Bukowski understands this, because it is our choice to live and die by the written word, as it should be. I think I'd like to share with you maybe 2 more poems so that you can get a full feel for what August poetry can be like for events in the calendar year. This one was written on the 26th, and it is for the day that the the United States certified the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. So this is a women's voting poem. Hope you guys enjoy it, and it is called Keep Looking Happy. Women, in theory, should feel pleased when we win battles for our rights. So whatever women do, you keep looking happy. And that's what we women have to do in this eternal uphill battle. When this country was founded, it was landowning white men who voted. 50 years before we women gained that right, white men decided that black men once slaves or descendants of slaves, black men once considered 3/5 of a person, they got the right to vote 50 years before us women. I get it. I shouldn't be so pessimistic. I shouldn't look so negatively at battles that we've had to fight so hard to win. I shouldn't think that our only male option to vote for, they decide our fate. They make personal choices for us women that we had the honor to vote for. And I understand. We've come a long way, baby. We women once couldn't attend college, even if we had such a long history of caring for your home, your food, your children, understanding finances so much more explicitly than you. And yes, we women are running for offices while we're still so underrepresented, and we still face that uphill climb. So yes, thank you for voting, and thank you for that honor. We'll keep it up, because before you know it, we'll have made some changes that you didn't even see coming. Because really, when we're done, you'll see that laws that the rest of the world agrees with, laws that treating women as equals, that kind of treatment isn't so unreasonable after all. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. I'm going to end on an intriguingly odd and light astronomical and romantic poem for you guys for August 24th, which is, for the younglings who might not know this, Pluto Demotation Day. That is the day they actually decided that Pluto was not a planet, but a dwarf planet. And it is brought up in this poem that I'd like to share with you guys, and it is called 11 and 2 plus 8. Maybe I'm an observer, like an astronomer, looking out in the universe, trying to understand what makes everything, everything. Maybe I'm meant to be an astronomer, studying things colder than ice, far away. You know, Pluto is an aberrant ball of ice. I don't know, I always thought it was a planet, but then they told me, no, it's not. It's just a ball of ice from the Kuiper belt. But molecule by molecule, we originate from stars. And now I understand we are all linked, our bodies formed from stardust. But outer space is a violent place. Violent explosions create the stars, and our Earth has earthquakes, avalanches, volcanoes, tsunamis, typhoons. And in all of this madness, somehow I found you. I survived the thunder and the lightning, the blizzards, the hurricanes and the tornadoes. I've lived through the drought. I've survived it all. I've even been dealt a near fatal blow from humanity. And with you, I've walked on the tops of glaciers, crouching down from the solar winds, looking down at the beginnings of time. With you, I've watched the solar storms from the geomagnetic aberrations of the aurora borealis from near the Arctic Circle. And we've looked at Venus through our telescope, and I've watched you photograph Orion in the night sky. So with these observations, I thee wed, because after all my searching throughout the universe, I've found what I've been looking for. And I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to these poems because, as I said, this is WZRD Radio 88.3 FM, The Wizard, where we are freeform. I've enjoyed this freeform time with you. Thank you all so very much. From Janet Kuypers, Scars Publications, know that you're always loved. Thank you. Bye.